Hi everyone, this is Richa Pandey. I am going to present my final project on topic Spark for data cleaning and ETL. ETL stands for extract, transform and load. This is a process of reading the data from the source, transforming and converting into some meaningful and understandable format, and after that loading it into the target database. Spark is a very powerful tool for performing ETL. It has many structural types like transformers, estimators, evaluators and pipeline that make the pre-processing and feature engineering very fast and convenient than the other available platforms. So in this project I will extract the tweets from Twitter. I will clean the text, I will perform some feature engineering, and after that I will load the data into Parquet and JSON file. So Twitter handles 500 million tweets per day, and Spark is very useful in performing ETL for the projects like Twitter sentiment analysis, bot detection and topic modeling, and there are many others. So in this project I will use TweetPy API. This provide access to entire Twitter RESTful API methods, and after you get the tweet data you will have to store that in a JSON file, and for that I will use JSON pickle. This code is in Jupyter Notebook, so you'll have to install Jupyter. For NLP I have used NLTK, and to visualize the data I have used matplotlib. You'll also have to install these two, Python Devil and GCC, in order to make matplotlib in some platforms. And for visualization I have also used World Cloud. And you will also need Twitter developer account in order to run this project, in order to provide your keys and tokens. So other methods or other tools that you need are pretty simple. You just have to do pip install and it will be installed to your system. I'll show you how Twitter developer account needs to be set up. So in order to set up your developer account, you will have to first submit a form, and you need to go to this link. You will have to do apply for access, and it will ask you to log in using your Twitter user account, and it will ask few questions, and after you provide all the information and submit the form, you will get an email that your application is under review. And once it gets approved, you will also get an email that will provide you the link to get started. So once you get the link, you will have to click on that link, and it will show you a page like this. You'll have to click on create an app in order to run this project, and again it will ask you some information. If it's asked for URL detail, you can mention this, and just mention your user ID here. You can keep other fields blank, and that way you will be able to create app. You can also provide any name to that your app. And in order to access the app, you will have to go to the right upper corner. You will see your app name. Just click on that and you will see a form like that, and here you will find the keys and token that you will need in order to fetch tweets. Okay, so after you are done with the Twitter account, you have keys and tokens and all the APIs installed, you can go ahead and run this program. In this project I have fetched 400,000 tweets, and the tweets, all tweets have this word hashtag product review, but if you want you can provide any hashtag or any word you want. So this is the code. You have to import all these things that you have installed in order to run it, and you have to provide your input here. In this file you need to provide your Twitter account's token and key values. Here you can provide the word that you want to fetch tweet for. Here you would need to provide the number of tweets you want to fetch, and this is the file where your tweets will be stored. So this is the function for authenticating your Twitter app. You will get, it will return this API, and using this API you will further get the tweets. So this function is basically just reading your authentication details, your key and your token from the file that you have provided, and after that it will use TweePy to get this API, which will be further used for fetching tweets in this function get tweets. So this function will take file name, it will take the word that you want to fetch query for, it will take the number of tweets that you want to fetch, and after that it will create this file, the output file, where all your tweets will be stored. So I'm not going to run this because it will take plenty of time. We can go to the next part where I will read the data. So in text file I already have the tweets stored. We can run it and store that tweets in this data frame. I have already run this, so it should show the first 3 rows. Yeah, so this is the tweet data that I have stored in my file, and these are the columns that I have. I will be using only text because I'm going to do the text analysis as part of this project. And after that, this is the part where I'm going to do the transformation. I have used regex tokenizer. I have provided my pattern here. I have provided input and output columns, and this is the first tokenizer or the first transformer that I have built. I will also be getting the list of URLs. So this is the second transformer, and this is the third one to get a special string. I have provided input and output columns and accordingly the pattern. Now I have used this pipeline method. This is very useful when you want to run multiple transformation on any data frame. So in pipeline I have mentioned all the transformers, and after I fit and provide the data frame, it will execute all the regex tokenizer functions and it will provide me this data. So I have text clean, URL and special string as output column after I'm done with the transformation. Now I have done feature engineering. As part of feature engineering, I will be creating a few more features like stem text, that in the stem text I will get the stem, I will remove the spatial I will remove the stop words, and I will get the stemmed sentences for every tweet which doesn't have any stop words. And I will also get string length and the list of user mentions. User mentions is like @ and user ID. So usually people want to tag or mention some other user, so they use @ for doing that. So this function will provide me the list of user mentions in that particular tweet, and then the next function get hashtag will provide me the list of hashtags that a user has mentioned in that tweet. And this is the text token will provide me the tokenized tokens for that tweet that I provide as a text to this function. Now I have used UDF in order to perform the feature engineering. UDF is column based feature provided by Spark SQL. All these function can also be run using regex tokenizer, but I just wanted to explore UDF, so I have used this function. Now after doing the transformation and feature engineering, that is how my data looks like. I have original column text. This column text clean stores the data with no digits, no special characters, no hashtags, no URLs. In a URL column, I have the list of URLs that user has mentioned. In a special string function or a special string column, I have the special characters that user has mentioned in his or her tweet. This is just it can be useful if someone wants to know that how many hashtags or how many user mentions generally user user mention in their tweet. So that is how why I have put a special column, a different column for special strings. Text stemmed, as I mentioned, it will provide me the stem text with no stop words. User mention is the list of user IDs that we have on our tweet. Hashtag is list of hashtags, text length is length of tweet, and the text token is the tokens of words that are mentioned in my tweet. So this is here we are done with our extraction, transformation. Now before we load into the database, let's do some EDA. So I'm going to do some visualization here on the features that I have built. So to do that, I will first transform my data frame into Panda, and after that I will use matplotlib to create plots. So this is the histogram plot for tweet length. Yeah, so in this histogram plot we can see that mostly we get tweets with the length of 140. That has the highest number. Some has 100, some has 110. So this is basically the histogram plot for tweet length. After that, so this is the next one. This is the frequency distribution plot for tweets. So we can see that product review that has the highest count, which makes sense. After that I have words like natural health, natural hair lover, and natural hair oil, and all those words which have higher frequency than the other ones. And so, and after that I have this word cloud. This is a very interesting way of seeing that which word or which hashtag is trending. So in the data that I have collected, in the tweets that I have collected, product review has been mentioned most of the time, and we can see that natural hair daily, natural hairstyles, these are other words which have used more often. Okay, so we are done with the data extraction, transformation, and feature engineering, visualization, and EDA part. Now the last part is to load the data. So I will be loading the data in Parquet and JSON file. So once the data is loaded into Parquet, even though we can, we end our session, we can come back and we can read the Parquet file, and we can perform any action that we want to perform on our stored data. So after loading the data, that is the end of this project, and I have mentioned all the references that I have used here. So to summarize everything here, I think that Spark is very powerful. It is very fast. I loaded 400 tweets, and it provided me it ran all the functions and provided me the output faster than the other platforms. The only thing I think Spark is lacking is visualization part. It would be better to have some built-in visualization methods or API, but apart from that, it is very powerful and it is very useful for doing ETL. So that's the end of my project presentation. Thank you.